So I received a call from one of my clients that lives in the southern part of Nigeria, and he said his mechanic has a customer that was interested in buying a Peugeot 508 Nigerian used in good condition and that is not abused. So So the client was asking if I have any or know of any available for sale. So I told him yes, that I have a customer that wants to sell his, and I've already inspected the vehicle and certified it very good. Just a few things that will just, normal wear and tear that will need attention. But other than that, the car is in excellent condition, and the price the owner or is selling is very cheap compared, when you consider the true value of the car, that is very cheap. So the current now later, I think he now told his mechanic, and the mechanic now called me. So the mechanic said yes, truly that it was one of his customers that saw. I think the customer saw my client's 508, and now I would say fell in love, but he became interested in 508 and wanted to buy. Okay, so he told me the price his customer. I'm talking about now the mechanic who also stays in that southern part of Nigeria. So he told me the price his customer um have, or his budget, not the price now, is the budget. Because what I did was I've already sent the pictures of the car to my client, and my client, I think, has either forwarded the pictures to the mechanic, or probably have shown the mechanic the pictures. And maybe the mechanic I don't know what happened, but it's like the person that actually wants the car probably have seen the pictures and was okay with the pictures, or what the car looks like. So he told me this what because I told the mechanic this is the price the owner wants to sell, and the mechanic said the person interested in buying the car doesn't have up to that amount. So he was begging if I could convince my customer that wants to sell the 508 to reduce the price. So, and even me, I wasn't really comfortable going back to, my customer that wants to sell the car, because I know the true value of that car, the resale value. I'm not just talking about uh, the condition, how clean, I'm talking even the resale value of that car. I know how, if I were to go to car stand or dealer's place where they sell Peugeot 508, especially the one in that condition, I don't think I will get it less, or okay, let me not mention the amount. It's like what I will find, what they will sell such car to me will add like additional 2 million naira to what the client is willing to sell his. So to tell you, that's why I said, to tell you that how cheap this one is. The dealer should have added like 2 million to what he wants to sell or is willing to collect for that car. So I wasn't comfortable going back to the man, trying to tell him this and that. But then, I went back, told him, see, this is what they are offering to buy, that this is their budget. The customer wasn't that comfortable, but then he asked for my opinion, I should advise him. I don't know. I was like, okay, nothing wrong in doing good thing once in a while. You could just reduce the price, just let him have it. Let it just be one of the good things you've done. So he eventually accepted considered my advice, and decided to ask me to tell the mechanic, okay, they can come and have the car at the price he said, or yeah, the price now, no longer just the budget, the price he said the person that wants to buy the car have. All these things, as I couldn't have access. I don't have access to whoever that was actually interested in buying the car. And I don't think my clients that's also stay in that sort of part of Nigeria have access to that person. No, I don't know, because it would have been easier if I were discussing with the person that actually wants to buy or interested in buying this car. So the mechanic said, okay, that he has had me. So the next day, according to him, he set off from the southern part of Nigeria, and left for Abuja. So he traveled, and I think he arrived. Let's just say by the next day, he called me that he has arrived at Abuja. That he wants to come and inspect the car. That the owner of the car, I think the person that wants to buy the car has probably I've given him the money, of course not cash, so for him to just to come and check, confirm what he gathered from my client, because I told my client who stays over there, explain to him the condition of the car and everything, and a few things that might need to be touched. To your taste. I always use that word, repair to your taste. Because when you buy a car, even no matter how clean the vehicle is if it's a used car, there are some things you might want to, fix to your taste or change to your taste. Every used car will have one or two minor or major problems. It's just that there are some major faults that to me or to owners, they feel like, what's the point? I mean, it doesn't really, like 1%, just something minor you need to bother yourself with. So when you want to sell a car, you can also sell it with those minor issues, or maybe repairs or normal maintenance repairs, not like a major fault. So maybe, I don't know, the guy I arranged, and the owner of this car was not in town. So what he did was he asked one of his friends to go and pick up the car from his house and bring it to my house. So I told the mechanic who has arrived at Abuja, describe my house to him, so that he will come to my house and meet the vehicle and inspect it. So eventually two of them came. Both the friend of my customer that wants to sell the car, he drove the car to my house, and this mechanic also located and came to my house. It was on one particular morning, came, and on seeing the vehicle, to my surprising, was I really surprised? I don't think I was, to be honest. He started, he started checking, looking at, opening the boot to look at the boot. I mean, it was very funny. I was like, what? Is this the first thing you do when you want to inspect a vehicle? And I said, it's still funny, yeah? Because, so funny. You open the boot, look inside the boot, check if there was jack. There was jack and the wheel spanner in the boot. He opened that spare tire chamber, checked the tire, this thing. I was like, come on, this is a goddamn modern car. Is this what you're supposed to do when you want to inspect a vehicle that costs this much, and with this modern tech inside the vehicle? This is what you are checking. Wow. I was just, okay, let him do his thing. He checked, he opened the bonnet, just listen to the sound of the engine, this and that. Moved a little bit further from the car, looked at it touched the bumper, the front bumper. Now started complaining, oh, the bumper, we need to be changed. I said, what bumper? This particular one I'm looking at. He said, the front grille is broken. Looked at it. I just bent my head, looked at it. I just it's a crack on the front grille attached on the bumper. Is that why you are saying you change the valve? See, is this what it, I was like, wow. I mean, so people can actually be this ignorant. This is how you check a modern car. You condemning a car because the bump front, it has a crack on the front grille attached on the bumper. Wow. I said, okay. See, I was just waiting for him to say, probably pull out a scanner, put the system, open up the fuse box chambers, both the one inside the car and the one in the engine bay, check the condition of the wiring. None of them. Just kept running around looking at the engine. Next thing, there's a leakage on the engine. I said, what leakage? He looked at it and said, and I looked at it and said, this is the engine cover, engine's cylinder head oil seal. Oil was coming out from that end, from the left side of it, draining down. So I told him, yeah, I mean, every used car, you're a mechanic, every used car, as they age, the seals will become brittle and start passing oil too, gradually. So all you think, so all you need is just to replace the seal. How much is the seal? Come on. No, it's a big problem. I said, oil seal is a big problem to you. To replace a cylinder head oil seal. So because of that, the car has lost its value. Seriously. I was like, wow, I mean, I'm saying things. So eventually he said, okay, let's go for a drive. We went for a drive, sitting behind. The friend was sitting on the passenger seat in front. And I could see they probably didn't even know how to operate. Let me not go to that extent anyway. As we were driving, he pointed out the temperature gauge, the coolant temperature gauge. I looked at it from the rear seat. I noticed it passed a little, was like at 92 to 95. I would say maybe 95. Let me just because I didn't get to 100, maybe like 95. It was just hovering there, down, goes up, comes back. It was just 95. That's the maximum he climbed. So I said, I told him, he started complaining that there's a serious issue with the cooling system, that the cooling system on the W254A is not supposed to get to 90. I said, seriously. Honestly, I wanted to ask him I don't want to, things that came to my mind. I was like, come on, do you think this is 504? What kind of car do you even repair to say W254 coolant temperature gauge is not meant to get to 90 degrees Celsius on that instrument panel? Wow. So I told him, see, what you're saying is wrong. However, if you have said 90, then I'll say yes, you are correct. But since it's getting at 95, when you get to my house, let's check. Because the last time I drove this car was about a month or 2 months ago. I told this specifically. I even informed my clients that the one that, over there in the southeast that contacted or connected this mechanic with me. I told him even before he told this mechanic that I've driven this car, inspected it twice. This is a vehicle I know the owner, I've driven the car, inspected it twice, but the last time I did it was like a month or 2 months ago. Can't remember the exact date now, so it's been long, a little bit long. So, well, if this one has come up, let's look at what it is. Immediately you got back to my house, I opened the bonnet, checked the temperature, checked the coolant, the thermostat, the coolant engine cooling system thermostat. I checked it was working well. Looked at, did my test, and realized that even the water pump was working. So in that case, it could be something minor. The next place I looked at was the coolant expansion tank or the coolant reservoir. I now saw that it was actually overfilled. So I told him this is most likely the cause. Of course, you're not supposed to go beyond that maximum mark and keep pushing it to get to the maximum. Of course, the system is going to have a problem. It's expected to start overheating because there's no longer free flow of coolants. It's supposed to give. There's a reason why they say don't go beyond this. So I told him, before you do any other thing, we need to bleed the system. But to bleed it, bleed it so I will drop down to the maximum bed, to the maximum mark. So, but then engine is hot already. So I told him to do that one, it means you have to wait for the engine to cool down. However, you've seen the car. If you want to buy, you make the payment. This is the friend of the owner of the car. You do conclude this, I'll be on my way. I was supposed to have left for work, but I had to wait for you guys to conclude, do your thing. He started complaining, no, you cannot buy this car at this amount. I was like, are you serious? Yeah, this and that, yeah, you have to drop the price. Let's talk business. I said, what business? Do you even know extent I went to have this price brought down to where it was before you came? And you are saying this because you said, no, let's talk business. I should tell the owner that the car has so many faults. I said, I understand most people do this thing, especially in Nigeria, just for the sake of money. You want me to lie to the man that the car, I know for a fact, you want me to lie to him that it doesn't worth the value of that money you want to sell it. Is that what you want me to do? So that you do what? You cut me some money after you made the purchase. In fact, why he was saying that, even his friend, the friend of the owner of the car that bought the car, was even upset. First, he was upset that at the price his friend wanted to sell the car. He said he didn't even know. I mean, he wants to sell this car at this price, and now this guy is even saying all these things. You want to cut out how much? Another 1 million or thereabout, because of what? Because of a cracked front grille that costs how much? Was it 10 to 15,000? Even if that's not even worth replacement. All you need to do is just resolder it. But even if you want to repair, how much? 15,000? That's what you're complaining, or you want the man to cut out ₦1 million or 500 for you. For what reason? After he has already cut out more than what he shouldn't have done, because he listened to my advice. Secondly, you're talking about the cooling system. Let's just, for the whole fact, let's just say, okay, fine, maybe even after draining and bleeding this cooling system, the temperature exceeds 90 a little, and still gets to that 95. Of course, I've already confirmed, did my test, confirmed the thermostat was okay. So what's the worst case scenario? How much does a cylinder head gasket cost? Now let's just throw everything on the floor. How much does it? Is it 8,000 or 10,000 naira? So because of that, you will reject such a valuable car at that price the person is giving you. You want to walk away from this kind of deal because of how much? 10,000, maybe maximum of 10,000 for the report of changing the head gasket. So in other words, you spend only 20,000 naira or less or a little bit more to get that kind of car in this condition at that cheap price. You walk away from that day. Okay, how much does the water pump cost? Which I even did realize the water pumps were working. The only thing was, because the engine was very hot, I couldn't do the full test to confirm the working of the water pump, but at least I could see it was working. How good it was working remains for the engine to cool down, to me to conclude the test. How much is water pump? Is it 8,000? Not even sure it's up to 10,000. I'm talking about this. I'm saying brand new. I'm not talking about this. Even if it's 10,000, I don't know. I know I purchased this. I'm trying to remember the price. 8, 10,000 or 15. I don't even remember again. You want to walk away from this deal? Fine. Let's move away from water pump. Radiator. If radiator is dirty and is blocked and is causing overheating, how much will it cost to remove it and flush it and put it back? Of course, obviously the fan was working perfectly, both the low and high speed. So the fan control module is in perfect condition. So how much, since fan is already ruled out, because the AC was shilling like mad. As the AC was, I was like, wow, this is as if it's a Peugeot 406 AC. So even if you now say, no, I don't want to wash radiator, how much is brand new radiator for that vehicle? 18 to 25,000. Last time I checked. New one, not talking about used one. And you want to walk away from this day because of what? Or you want the man to cut out ₦1,000,000 or what? After he has already reduced more to more than. As I was saying that, like I said, the friend was upset and he now told me, see, if you are new, this was the amount the friend wanted to sell the car, he probably would have looked for another buyer for him. So as I was saying that, he waited, we tried, two of us tried to talk sense into the mechanic, that, see, if you keep wasting time, we'll walk away, and you will see that will be the end of this transaction or deal. He kept doing that, the friends jumped into the car, drove off. I entered my own car, told him, see, you met me at my house, I actually prepared for work, so that is it, I had to go, since you are not serious. Before I left, I told him, see, go round, you are not in Abuja, fine, go round town, look for where they sell Peugeot cars, Peugeot 508, find out, if you find one that is in this same condition of this car or in a better condition of this car that is cheaper than that, buy, don't even bother to, that means you won a lottery. And that's what I told him. It's not like this is the only Peugeot car 508 for sale. Go man, just go and make your inspections with the way you do your inspection. I moved. In the evening time, like around 5 p.m., one of my contacts called me here in Abuja. Started telling me about someone he met. I don't know how he met him. I think someone gave him my number. So probably as he was searching for 508, or maybe, I don't know. He said he now narrated to him how he came to Abuja to buy a car that someone called Ikenna, Lion King, recommended for sale. And this was what he did. The guy was like, well, that was what he was not telling me on phone. He said, you are saying Lion King recommended this car to you to buy at this amount and you walked away. Are you really serious? As in, this guy, this was what the guy was telling me. Say, even him that has not seen the car but knows about 508, because this guy, let me put it on, this guy is a Peugeot pass seller. He deals on Peugeot pass, including Peugeot 508 pass, all those things. Sometimes, so he knows the value of this car and knows, and for him he was not hearing that somebody he knows that Lion King recommended this car at this price, and you walked away because of what? Because there's a cracked this thing. You say, no, you can't buy it at that cheap price that even he himself could never imagine someone can buy a good 508 W2 in this condition. You walked away because you want to do what? He called and started begging me. This is my contact and salesman. I said, please come. He has made a big mistake. Let's try and resolve this. I respect him a lot, so I went to his shop this time around. So this is my contact that sells parts here in Abuja. I went to his shop, met the mechanic there, he started begging me and said, please, let's resolve this. He probably wasn't thinking straight. Please call back your customer to see if he wants to buy the car now. At the price that my customer offered him earlier, before he even left the southern part of Nigeria. I was like, okay, fine. Let me do this, one of the good things. Called my customer again, say, please, the mechanic has come back. He now wants to buy the car. He said, what? No, somebody else has showed interest. And they are coming to check the car, the names at the original price. Which even I advised this man, my customer, after I left in the morning my house, I told him, since this guy is not willing to buy, even at the price you reduced, please increase it, go back to the original price, you will get a buy. So he said, yes, it's like that his friend that bought the car now found somebody else, whether he knows the value of the car or not, that is coming to check and buy the car at that price. So that is no longer available. I told the man, see, you've caused this. To cut this story short, or cut out every other thing. Ever since that evening that I told him, see, the car is no longer available, he has called me how many times? If not 40, close to between 30 to 40 times. This mechanic kept calling me. It's about 3 days now or so. Kept calling me, say he's still in Abuja, that I should beg my customer to sell the car. I said the car is no longer available. Even if he says he doesn't want to sell to you again, you have somebody else. Yeah. So forget it. Go and look for those your cheaper or whatever. See, the point is, don't make the mistake of using a local Peugeot mechanic to go and inspect a modern Peugeot car. Don't ever make that mistake. I don't know if you are the one that sent this car and you are watching this video. Please collect your money back. Also, take that money out of his hand. If you are not the one, but you are planning to buy a W2 Nigerian used or foreign used Peugeot 508, and you want your local mechanic to go and inspect the car for you, see, my advice to you is this: you are better off cutting it off. Go and buy it yourself. Risk it. Go blindly. Go and buy it. Is this basically going to be even better or the same thing if you have used him? In fact, if you have used him, he's probably going to shoot you and still buy the nonsense for you. So you can as well save yourself some money. Even if you end up buying an abused vehicle, it will be better for you. At least you have some money, they didn't shoot you from the other one. You now deal with other problems. You don't make that mistake. This doesn't mean all of them have same understanding of modern Peugeot car. No, some have better understanding. But what you need, let me put it straight to you. What you need, if you want to go and inspect, if you're looking for someone to inspect a modern Peugeot car for you, to buy, to advise you to what to buy or not to buy, you don't need somebody that will be looking for the mechanical part. Don't ever make that mistake. People make this mistake. That's why they always end up buying abused vehicles, spending hundreds of thousands, millions trying to put the car in good condition, which we refuse until they get so frustrated in this car. Don't ever use a local mechanic that always think about what the engine sound like. This guy didn't even bother to talk anything about electric car. He didn't even look at anything. There was no scratch on the car. As in, this guy is like, it was even, and the funny thing was, this is the first user. It's not like it was a third or second user of the first user of this car, bought brand new in Nigeria, used. Even the friend came with 2 keys. So you don't understand everything, because that's the first user. The car say have 2 keys, everything. Oh, you need to see this car. Fully spec'd. This is not just like any 508. This is like what they call full option. Fully spec'd. Everything working. Like I said, it's just the normal one. How many of you, even the ones I found, I was like, okay, these are just few things you need to do. Normal wear and tear, which will even stop you from using the car. These are things you can do days, weeks, or months later. Or you can choose to do do them once immediately and move on. So I'm saying that because I know a lot of people make this mistake. You entrust your money to someone that don't have understanding or don't even know what to look out for, what it takes to own a modern vehicle, not just Peugeot. You are checking the boots to know if it has a spare tire. Your first thing you do when you come to check an electrically complex control vehicle is to check whether it has a spare tire and jack. The first thing you do is to go and look at the engine to know if it's leaking oil from the cylinder head. Oh, crap. if you are to talk about THP engine, do you even know the most valuable part on the THP engine that should be your concern when you want to inspect it? If you really want to go mechanical and you want to check to be sure the mechanical part of a model or your 508 is intact, do you know the first few or first three things you are supposed to check on engine if that's your attention or your priority? You didn't even bother to check any of those things. You are looking at where oil is just dripping, just small from the cylinder head cover. Which all you need to do is remove the cylinder head, put another seal that is even available. That will take you probably 10 or 15 minute job to do. Wow. You know, the interesting thing is people have this idea that when you are buying a used car, it's expected to be like a brand new car. This is where I don't get it. That kind of entitlement is what I don't understand. You can't afford a new car. Have that understanding. Admit that you cannot. Then stop being entitled that what you can't afford. You start feeling that you are supposed to. Nobody owes you anything. If you don't want zero repair on a vehicle you want to purchase, then walk into a brand new shop and buy a brand new car. Nobody is forcing you to buy a used vehicle. You know your condition. You know, okay, or maybe this is not your priority in life. You don't care about buying a car that costs this amount. You want something that can move, or you are not interested in this modern newer car. You prefer. Everybody have their own priorities in life. Could be using new car, it could be building houses, it could be investing more money in business, it could be anything. So even if you can afford new car, it may not be your interest, You could just go for a used car because you have other things you'd rather spend that kind of money on. So, but for you if you want to buy a used car, now feeling that everything must be in. And the funny thing is, when it's even offered almost at the price of the abused one. They bought the price so low as if it's an abused vehicle. You see it? You were expecting it because. Don't make that mistake this guy made. I was telling my client that knows this mechanic, the one from the southern part of Nigeria. I was telling him that I felt bad to whoever that sent this mechanic. Because that's the person that had this huge loss. It's a loss. Honestly, it's a loss because I know this car. It's not like something I saw in the picture. It's a car I not only have worked on, diagnosed on few occasions, worked on, driven so many times, not once, not twice. And it was a big loss because of the price the owner offered it. That's what I'm saying. And so don't be this guy. Don't be that guy. That guy that said, don't be that guy. Try to avoid it. Don't use these local guys to go and inspect a modern computerized complex vehicle. Even the mechanical side, you couldn't even tell which one. Even like I said, if I were to be the one, maybe let's assume I've checked all the electricals, checked the body, checked the interior, checked the skeleton of the car, or the structure to be sure there's no serious accident that affected that structure. Check every other things that needs to be checked, and then it's okay. Let me even look at the mechanicals. There are a few things I don't even need to. What's the engine oil leak? The things to check are just very obvious. Anybody that work on THP engines, you will know what to check to know their condition. And most of the easiest way to do that is to plug in a goddamn scan tool and check, not just if there's any error to see how those things are working. You do a live test to confirm how they are working, their strength, to know if they are bad wearing out, so that you know, okay, if they are buying this is how much my clients or the person that sent me is going to spend to fix this in the near future or immediately. And you're looking at a goddamn sale that is leaking. It becomes a big issue to you. And you call yourself what? A Peugeot 508 mechanic? Wow. So don't be this guy. Don't make this kind of mistake. Stop using local mechanics. It's a very big risk that is not worth it. And if you are the person that sent this guy, ask back for your money. I don't know, for some reason he's still staying in Abuja. He doesn't want to go back. I don't know. Has he used part of the money and he's not trying to? I don't know. But you made that mistake. I'm not saying everybody knows Lion King to use the service to get a car for him, you know. But you have to also be careful when when you are tossing some money to people. You know, these people, how trustworthy they are when it comes to money. The other thing, if you're really if you really want someone that can be able to check a vehicle, see, you have many options for a modern car. If you want to, you can use use a specialist. Specialists understand. I'm not talking about someone who understands the system properly. Both the mechanicals, electricals, everything. That's what you go for. An expert. Call it whatever you want to do. Second, even if you okay, maybe they will charge you high, you can't afford it, fine. Look for an electrician. Yeah, you may not know anything about mechanicals or anything, but you are better off. Yeah, even if you couldn't even tell the difference between spark plug and this, but you are better off that you'll be able to confirm that the condition of the electric cars are intact. That should be your concern. Even if the body has been messed up, everything, the electrical should be your concern. Of course, three things: the body of the car, the interior, and the electricals. These three things, once I cover and certify them, I don't really give a shit about the mechanicals. I keep telling them that they just plug in and plug out parts on the vehicle. Takes few minutes to diagnose, to tell this is the problem. Can you afford to change it? They get rid of it, put another one, and the car start rolling like a 98-99% car in good condition. Period. But if the electrical has been messed up, abused, if the body of the car has been bushered, scattered, had the accident that affected the chassis, this and that, and the car has lost the original shape, come on, then what are you buying again? You are buying a nightmare. Period. So these are the things you need to consider. Or better still, go and buy it yourself. If you end up with an abused car, fine. You know you made that mistake. Maybe next time you learn. But giving your money to someone that will go and check, the first thing you do to check if there's jack in the boot, or look at, say, condemn a car because there's a small crack on the front grille. So because of that, you have to cut out close to ₦1 million for him to agree to buy the car. Because you think that even when you are buying a Tokunbo car, there are nothing to fix. Is that really what people believe? I've been saying that if you ever think that even fully used, that are buying them, you are not supposed to replace or repair anything, then I don't know, you are still ignorant that I don't even know how to place it. But I understand, not everybody knows all this stuff about cars. You just want take me there, bring me back. But cut it out of your mind that buying a Tokunbo car means you're buying a new car. No. There are false issues that needs to be dealt with. However, these are the things that may not even pop up. Only they take specialists like us that will actually see them. But they are there. Just eventually they will become more pronounced. So you either deal with them immediately you make the purchase, or you keep using them, then later on you deal with them. Or you could ignore them. Maybe they are just something minor that will never bother the vehicle throughout the lifespan. So even if the faults are there, they won't do anything. So but to say there won't be any fault. Really? Used vehicle? Even you that is already from the baby till now, you say every part of your body has always been intact. You've never felt sick. You never. Wow. So let this be a good advice. Don't. Stop making use of people who are qualified enough to do a pre-purchase inspection for you, for your sanity, for your money. Don't be that guy.